Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Junkyard Digs, and welcome to the Grand Prix. Woo! Hello race fans, and welcome to the very first running of the Junkyard Digs Grand Prix. I'm your host, Rod Knox, and joining me in the studio today is my co-host, Richard Roberts.
Thank you, Rod. You can just call me Ricky, though. Let me tell you what, folks. Boy, am I glad to be here today.
Why is that, Ricky?
Because it ain't nothing short of a miracle that we are racing this weekend. It's been raining bullfrogs out there for 2 days.
You got that right, Ricky. Our track crew has been hard at work for months preparing this racetrack. And like you said, it was almost all for nothing. Yesterday, we watched our entire track be completely demolished by a flash flood. The lower section alone was 1.5 feet underwater.
Yes, sir. Our track maintenance team was scrambling all day yesterday, digging out drainage ditches to get that water off the track. Today's supposed to be a different story. Maybe some rain this afternoon, followed up by some strong-ass winds tomorrow. Who knows? Hopefully that sun and wind can dry out our track so we can get some racing action tomorrow.
Thankfully, these teams are going to need some time to prepare their cars, so let's hope the weather holds out until tomorrow. Speaking of cars, let's go to our man in the field, our one and only Kevin Brown. Kevin, are you there? Can you hear us? For the last few months, I have been buying every $400 Grand Prix I can find in the area. And I've collected a number of them out here. So with that being said, we're about to turn these guys loose on a bunch of pile of shit cars and turn them into race cars for the next 8 hours before it starts raining again. Let's do it. It seems his receiver isn't working quite right. It appears he has just decided to improvise everything today. It might make for some strange transitions between us here in the studio and those out there on the track.
Oh hell, I won't worry about that. I'm sure they can figure all that out in post. But I tell you what, Rod, I see quite a few faces out there I don't recognize. How about y'all run us through the lineup out there?
I think that's an excellent idea, Rick. We have names from all over the country and all over the internet. So let's meet them. First up, from Iowa. They're the only two here that actually have jobs as certified technicians, and they're the only ones who aren't in a Grand Prix, Wyatt and Carl. In the White Grand Prix, from Florida, he often yells at broken machinery in a landfill, TikTok's very own Definitely CJ. And of course, his partner, from Iowa, the man I sold the camper to last year, Sloan from Crooked Rose. In the Red Series 2, you won't recognize his face, but that voice is unforgettable. From Georgia, Jacob from Roanoke Gaming. And of course, his partner, from Iowa, the man with more racing experience than everyone else combined, Steve from This Week with Cars. In the Blue GTP, we have another Iowa team. He blows powder all day long, Phoenix from Wrench and Redneck. And of course, his partner, who's wondering if this counts as PTO, Connor from Phoenix's Powder Coating. Next up, from Iowa, they've been the experts at putting 9 inches in the rear since 1984, Bryden and Ashton from Quick Performance. In the Black Grand Prix, your host, Junkyard Digs, and of course, his partner from Tennessee. You've definitely seen his cars on the internet, Sean from Schweddy Speed Shop. In the White Grand Prix, both of their flights were delayed and technically they're not even here yet. From Tennessee, Dylan McCool, and of course, his partner from California, Donut Media's very own Nolan Sykes. That rounds out our current attendance, but 4 more teams will be joining us for race day. In the Gray GTP, another Iowa team who specializes in building something from nothing and probably only spent $7 on their car, Ron from Misfit Toys and his buddy Aaron. In the Blue Grand Prix, I can't help but notice they didn't name their car Betty White this year, from Iowa, Bill and his son Ty. In the Gray Grand Prix, another Iowa team whose car was already named Hilbert when we picked it up, Angus and Ethan. And last but not least, your final Iowa team in the Fiesto Jalapeno Bean car. He's not the cameraman, but rather another guy with the same name, Jesse. And of course, he just showed up to grill, but we stuck him in a car anyway, my cousin Ben.
Rod, I tell you, we got a good mix of cars out there. I see a couple Series 2, a couple Superchargers, and a Monte Carlo snuck in. How'd that get in there?
Well, Ricky, I believe it was both local and cheap. Either way, all of these cars are nearly identical 3.8 liter drivelines with automatic transmissions, well over 200,000 miles, and have been deemed too unsafe to stay on the road.
And speaking of unsafe, I think it's about time these boys get to work prepping their cars for racing, baby! Let's check in with Kevin in the pits as the guys begin to rapidly overwhelm him as the only cameraman.
This is hectic. This is the biggest thing I've ever hosted, the biggest gathering of YouTubers I've ever been a part of, and it's in my own backyard.
There's so many cool things coming around. Oh, that's got cool in it. Does it? Some. Oh my god. That's cool.
Alright, so we do have a little bit of advantage here. If you look real close, we picked the only one with the supercharger, so got a little bit of horsepower on everybody.
We got a water pump box. That's sketchy.
That means it was replaced recently. Oh, another one. And another one. And they're water pumps.
Multiple water pumps.
So this one might get a little warm by the end of the day is what you're saying?
And a bunch of
We got a
coolant.
spare, we're gonna need that.
Oh, ATF.
Holy shit! Okay, we're going! Oh yeah!
Here you go, Ashton. Put that on the check.
What'd you say we want to be 69?
Yeah. Oh, you gotta do it.
One more announcement. If anyone finds change, I got this helmet to put it in.
Oh baby.
This is the beer fund.
Beer fun.
Any spare change?
You want a radio unit?
Nah.
Hey, that's weight reduction! No! No sabotage in the Monster Carlos!
Gold, huh?
Oh, you immediately broke it! Dude!
Hang on, I can fix this.
Did it just pop off or did it snap?
It snapped.
We'll do some finger painting.
Some finger painting.
I'm gonna need more paint.
Yeah, I thought that was what it's gonna say. I'll be back later.
It's a nice 8.
That's a pretty good 8. Of all the 8s I've seen.
Big Newtons.
I was waiting for someone to do that. Now you have all the ground clearance. What the hell's that?
We got a cocaine table with this one. You guys like to party?
Found about $1.
You found $1 worth of change already?
Yeah.
I know one of them, the center console, is just pennies.
Where? I got 15 cents.
Ooh,
Oh, hell yeah.
we got $1.15. That's almost a beer.
Yeah, almost.
You guys are hauling ass over here. Before anyone complains about us ruining a bunch of good cars, we're not. These are things that need to come off the road. This is like cash for clunkers, but fun. And you guys get to enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Gotta make her look good for the race.
Yeah. Works for me. Hell, I could put diesel in there. I don't give a shit. It might work.
So this is our car.
It's looking good.
I'll be here to help eventually.
Give a good once over, do a nice 30K on it, make sure everything's up to par.
Change the fluid, service the brakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You went with a dark color on dark.
Yeah, highly visible.
There's already a 69. Crisis averted.
It's a loveless marriage.
Oh my god. How's the quick performance
can of
team
corn.
doing?
Pretty good. Right now we're having some
Is that a
batting,
can of
batting
corn?
practice.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Can of corn from the
Did
car.
that dent the bat?
Kevin, did you see the mouse fetus?
The what?
Our mascot,
Coming.
our team mascot.
What the hell? Is what the?
Oh, hell yeah.
I know where this guy went to work, and when he came back, and when he left.
Was he a timely individual?
No.
That's probably why they drove this.
Were you thinking of seeing out the windows? Are there wheels in that?
Yeah, 3 of them I pulled out.
Holy shit!
Well, one of them's no good.
$70.
Make that 2 of them real good.
Hell, it still holds air.
Yeah.
Hey, Carl. I got you a tire.
I got you $1.
Here it goes. Gotta go get it.
Tire go boom.
Oh, it shows quick performance. Sorry, you out of luck.
Oh, got a spare.
Are you guys running the donut?
Yeah, we're gonna run the donuts in the rear.
Oh my god.
It's taking a lot more force than I thought.
You know those Pontiac Grand Prix, dude, they're built tough.
Yeah. Built Pontiac tough.
There you go.
There. Look at there. Enough application of force. You can break anything. See any more battery
The
beads?
sticker's applied. Hell yeah. Did you break it or what happened?
We're trying to get that.
We were suggesting the best way to take it out is just crash into something. And then, you know.
What did you just find?
Fashion.
Gotta pull it off.
No. Rambo. Adrian! Whatever the f Rambo says. I didn't have any mechanic tools. I've been using cutlery and spatulas. We've done all right.
Ready to go to war?
Don't make Carl angry. Carl will rip your face off.
About broke that window.
Sticker removal. We got some performance things up our sleeves.
Okay.
Anything to get that little bit of edge is.
Okay. What the hell? See, this is why these cars are here, people. Don't
That's
worry.
at the pinch weld.
Yeah, she's pretty bad. I mean,
Hey, that was mint.
oh, I kicked through it?
Yes.
CJ, why does everything smell like beer over here?
Chris in the car.
I was downwind and I got a good strong whiff of beer.
Chris in the car. I read the good book and gave it a good holy bath. In Dale's name we pray. What numbers are taken already?
69 and 96 are taken. 8, 96, 69.
I'm going one. We're first, baby. You ain't first, you're last. Little off center. Good enough.
You guys have more dollars in stickers here than we have in cars.
We didn't know what color it was gonna be. Is that level?
About 45 degrees to the right.
We're worrying now.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
Weight reduction wherever you can get it.
I forgot to mention the ECM was in that door panel.
Oh, well, I'm gonna cut a hole in the bottom and flintstone it.
Is that your toilet paper?
Don't you worry about it. Or I'm gonna need this one when I'm sweeping through victory lane. I'm just gonna go,
Oh, are you? Okay.
oh yeah.
So a few of these cars, this one included, actually came from some of our fans in the area. Huge thank you to them. I know this one was posted for like $1,200 and I did the old classic, hey, I'll give you $500 and pick it up tomorrow. And he said, oh, I'm pretty firm on my price, but I watch your channel and I enjoy it. So that's fine by me. So we went and picked it up. This one had injector wires were eaten through by mice. But yeah, to those of you who were fans and donated a couple of these cars, or not donated, but sold them to us cheap, thank you very much. You've made this calamity possible today. And calamity it is. You spelled it wrong.
You put tap me. What?
CJ, I just learned right here.
Yeah, fuses are right there.
Yellow one, airbag for the passenger side, I believe.
Disconnect it.
Yeah. Do you want this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any idea how much this is worth right now? I'd have to wait 6 months for it to ship.
Oh, they got fancy with their accents. Nah.
Oh, whoa.
Mine are
We have
gone.
copyright on this?
I actually kind of like that drip it's got going.
Yeah, they got the fancy wheels.
Ooh, getting fancy. Open wheel race car now.
Damn right. It was half rubbing anyway, so you might as well take it out of the equation.
Got them custom rims.
Custom, boy. For 72 payments of $4.99. You two can own these wheels.
You too can get spray paint.
Yeah.
Are you guys going for it?
Hell yeah.
You guys change power steering pumps?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, what are you doing?
We're just gonna fill it up with fluid and see what happens.
Oh, that's right. This is what it takes to fill it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there it is. Jesus.
Man, it's a nice headlight.
It'd be a shame if something happened to it all.
Hi, Carl.
I'm just looking.
There we go, just to clean off the funnel.
Into the power steering pump.
Well, it definitely sounds like crap.
Nothing?
No.
Maybe it'll start working eventually. Yeah.
There.
That's one way to do it.
Power mod.
Performance.
This is the, what do they have in the Forge? They have the J mod after the guy whose name was Jay. This is the Carl mod. You're really committing to the whole open wheel concept.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this one off. It's gotta be symmetrical before it's not symmetrical. Alright? All right. Otherwise, my brain just doesn't feel right.
You stepped on it.
Damn it.
Was that your passenger mirror? Since you're missing one.
Gold rim special, #1.
You gotta paint the brake rotors too. Just all of it.
All of it.
Whole interior.
I'm gonna grease the brakes before we get out there too. I don't want them overheating.
You guys been awfully quiet. What are you up to?
Ashton's trying to get the airbag out.
Oh, yeah, that is a good reason to be quiet. I'd be scared too. In fact, I am.
We're just getting some weight reduction.
I think the amount of fishing poles you guys pulled out of the back of this car is enough weight reduction to win the race.
I know.
Like, there was some stuff
After
in
we
this
win
one.
it, we're gonna take it fishing.
Currently, the track is in good fishing condition.
Yeah, so if we get spun out on that corner, we're just gonna get out and just start
go
fishing. Yeah.
I haven't used a single power tool. I haven't used a single one. I've ripped everything out of this thing. I would really kill for a Sawzall.
Power tools.
Hey, so what we did?
We have the technology.
Wow.
Not the running board now! The aesthetic of the car is ruined.
You guys gonna use that air freshener?
The what?
You gonna use that air freshener?
Yeah.
We've got Ariana Grande spray.
Did you say Ariana Grande spray?
Yeah, right here, man. What? Where is she?
Where is she?
Where is she? Where's Ariana?
Hi, Ariana.
I didn't know I was getting put to work. Came here to drink beer. I didn't bring my pliers.
No, damn it. You trying to do methanol injection?
Race things.
Too soon, Junior. Hydrolocks.
Yeah.
Just done.
You gave it too much sauce, man.
I'm not driving.
A lot of bleach. I'm about to just get it. I think the floor's bent underneath,
Probably.
so the seat won't come out.
I figure you're having trouble getting a seat out.
This might work.
Hey, we win. That was easy.
Does anybody want to ride it?
Yes.
Bye, Kevin.
Guess we got unbolted.
What the hell of a seat. I'm gonna take that as a no. Are you guys done? Is this the final product?
I think we're good.
Ah,
Leaving the
I think
seats
we made
in?
it a lot better.
Well, there's my theory on that. You know, these are front wheel drive. We're gonna need all the traction we want.
You're going for
So
weight.
we want weight on the front.
Yep. It's a toss-up. People are either going light to skim through the mud or weight to
Yeah.
dig through the mud.
Yeah. Well, we don't want the weight on the back because we want the back to rotate.
Yep.
But on the front, we want as much traction as we can.
For speed.
Damn right, dimples.
Like a golf ball.
Herbie owes me money.
Oh, I thought it said 93. Jesus. About died.
I was like, spiders.
Hey, you need any adhesive cream?
I think
We
I'm
got
good.
some spare. What about a lipstick? A melted
What about a
one.
lipstick?
CJ, that's your color. You should put it on. Do it for the views, CJ.
Don't put that on.
Hey, it matches your paint scheme.
No, it doesn't come off.
Holy shit. Look who it is. You ruined the moment, Phoenix! Welcome to Iowa.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna pair you up with Dylan.
Okay.
He's the last person to arrive. He's gonna be here an hour or so.
Sounds good.
In the meantime, 4 cars out in the field. Take your pick.
Take my pick.
Take your
Let's
pick.
go look at them.
It's a runner.
Oh, it's got snow tires.
Getting a lot of warnings on the screen here.
That's normal.
Recommendations.
That one has a screen?
Yeah.
Give her!
Oh, baby.
I'll take it. For you, sir.
You need a pillow? Oh.
The real sponsor of today's video.
Oh, sweet.
Got on Amazon and bought 10 bottles of Stop Slip. $10 a pop on Amazon, way cheaper.
What do we got here? Ooh, let's get this trim panel back on the front. For those of you that don't live in the great state of Iowa, you get the luxury of not having to worry about a front license plate. But we Iowans, our state representatives hate us and they think we need to have a front plate on everything. And we're going for performance. Why I'm doing this, I don't know. This is a backup card just in case the old Monster Carlo doesn't make it, or some of the other people don't know how to drive. They got something else to jump into.
Okay, so it's like Dale Earnhardt's like special step cousin. Number 3.
That is spot on.
It is a
for
3,
McDonald's
so.
logo.
Oh, this one actually sprays nice. I found the Superior paint can brand. It's the Rust-Oleum, of course. Oh! I sprayed myself in the face. That's spot on, you ask me. Oh, then it's like good wrench on the side. Shit. That last little bit is what it needed. Needed that chrome stripe. Maybe I really should have went into auto body. There we go.
Keep that OEM look, you know. Planning on reinstalling this later, perhaps.
More treasure.
Oh, hey, more change. All right, more for the bucket. Hell yeah.
Ooh. Some of these cars bring you some really good things to have laying around. I've been having a problem with my pants falling down lately, and solved that problem.
Now, for the viewers at home, it's very important that if you're disassembling an airbag that you disconnect the battery. There's one. There you go. All right, airbag out. Don't like that facing towards me. Now, for that OEM Plus look, I'm going to reinstall the cruise control module just so it's not flopping around. There you go.
There you go.
All right. Now my radiator is only like 50% exposed to the rocks and everything, so we're good. In the road racing tradition, you're running street legal headlights, and the way to keep them from breaking and shattering into a billion pieces when you inevitably make contact was to put tape over them, kind of keep them together. I figured, hey, we're out here at a racetrack, let's do the same thing. This is the first customization to our car.
How does it smell? Get a whiff of that. Smell that.
I love how Nolan's like, well, to be proper on the race course we're on, and Dylan's like, does oil smell like dirt to you? So they drove this car an hour and a half here. I want you to remember that when you're racing it and you hear the 7-piece strut crashing into the frame.
What color paint do you have?
That's a good question. We are jazz musicians, Dylan. You are the drummer here, and I will just follow with the trumpet, okay? So just do what feels right.
So I'm a drummer.
You're the drummer. That's kind of sick, actually.
Let me continue it over here.
Continue. Then it's like a...
I can feel it.
It's iconic.
That's all we are, is iconic, right?
Inspiration. Result.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. I absolutely love that.
You know, this makes me wish I disobeyed or like was a worse kid in high school. You know, I should have been tagging stuff up.
That's right. Yeah, we lost talent.
Yeah.
We really missed our calling. We both have glasses too. Yeah. Should we do like a pair of glasses?
Dude, you just shot a dick on your car?
Okay. Well, okay. It was supposed to be some glasses, but
Kind of looks like a really sad.
That dribble at the end is not good. Oh, that didn't help.
Now it's just, I have no idea what it is now.
I've made a mistake.
Wow.
There's gonna be somebody who's gonna be really upset that we
like wreck these cars. You know, don't get upset. These cars are really, really bad.
Wait, what?
Come here. What? Come here, look. This glass is held up with a piece of wood and some styrofoam. That's why the door panel was. Not a piece of wood.
I'll tell you what, I thought that was going to take all day, but seems like people are mostly done. We've got a couple teams yet to show up, prep their cars. We'll probably use these guys to prep the backup cars, but that went really well. Let's go racing.
Brett's got pliers.
Robin's racing. We're set. This is a machine. We got senior and junior. Yeah, that's fair.
That looks amazing.
Hey,
Dude, that actually looks cool.
It wouldn't be right if we didn't finish the race at the front of the pack with some scratches and donuts down the side. Oh, that actually looks really good.
That's awesome.
Well, Ricky, from the looks of it, all of our teams have finished prepping their cars and are now relaxing to enjoy an afternoon with their friends. Much deserved, if you ask me. Either way, that concludes our pre-race coverage, and we'll see you after this quick commercial break for the running of the Grand Prix. Good morning, folks, and welcome back to our coverage of the Grand Prix. I'm Rod Knox.
And I'm Richard Roberts.
Devastating news this morning. Last night we were hit by yet another thunderstorm, which dumped another inch of rain on our track. Thankfully, our maintenance crew has been hard at work making alterations to the track so our race may continue.
That's right, Rod. I watched this morning as a whole group of drivers took to the fields with shovels and sheets of wood to make a bridge that their cars could pass the creek. And I tell you, if it hadn't been for one of the neighbors donating 2 pieces of plastic field tile, they would have been up Schitt's Creek. Literally.
So a huge thank you goes out to all who helped fix the track this morning. We won't be racing if it wasn't for you. Hopefully we can make changes in the future that alleviate this water crossing issue altogether.
Yeah, that creek crossing before the back straight is going to be fun to say the least. I don't know if these Grand Prix are going to like that water hitting their electricals. I bet we see some cars stall as they head up that hill.
You may be onto something there, Ricky. A few parts of this track are still very muddy this morning.
Let me just say, I saw a practice lap earlier when them boys were building that bridge, and it looked rougher than 80 grit toilet paper.
Yeah, it seems this new track layout is going to be a real endurance test for our cars, nevertheless the drivers themselves. Either way, let's head down to the track and check in with all of our teams so we can get this show on the road. What do you say we start with the ones that were not here yesterday for the builds? And a quick warning, Ricky, it is windy out there today.
So this is our car. Its name's Hilbert. We're lucky number 12. We don't know shit about this car other than it drops a bunch of transmission fluid.
And there's a JB weld on the transmission.
Yeah, so it'll be fine. We've taken everything out that everybody's taken out. It's okay.
They'll do the job.
Maybe.
As long as you don't wreck it first.
As long as you don't wreck it second.
I'm Ron. And I'm Aaron. This is the 98 Grand Prix. It's got the supercharged 3.8 in it. We just basically gutted it. I moved the battery inside, put some fuel in it, and did have to do some exhaust because I already robbed the catalytic converter off it. That's about it. Keeping it cheap.
Hi, this is Bill. This is Ty. We bought this for $400 and just brought it. Bubble gummed up the fuel tank, put tires on it. We're bringing it. We're in the Jazzmobile. This is Sykes and McCool Racing for the 90S. So since Nolan and I are both 90s babies, we figured it was properly themed to go with that.
That's right. We've taken the rear seats out. That's kind of it. Made sure it had oil in it. Ready to go.
So we spent hours and hours making performance modifications to our car, which includes this hood scoop.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Basically, this thing's gonna blow up the second we get it out of the track.
It doesn't even start right now, so we're doing good already.
Yeah.
Grand Prix, obviously, labeled up with QP all over it. Antenna back there. We've got Red Bull up there giving us wings to fly around this racetrack. Basically got rid of most of the interior. We kept the passenger seat though, in case someone wants to ride along. But other than that, it's basically just a normal Grand Prix, ready to go. All right, so we have the Fig Newton number 8 Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS.
We gutted the inside, did some things underneath to keep it cool. Spares on the back. Should be a pretty good contender.
We decided to go with it. Rip this off.
Wait, sorry. I wasn't going. Yeah, you can go now.
Oh, now I can go. Jesus Christ. We picked it up, had no bumper.
Ready?
The other fender over there was half torn off, so we just went and ripped them all off, ripped it out. Number one, you ain't first, you're last. We're probably going to be last. That's pretty much it.
It's race day. Everything is calamity. We got the track tried out. We had to do some maintenance and reroute it, but we did some test laps. It's pretty good. Middle section's a little rough, but you'll have those. The old Big E car is ready to get out there and kick some ass.
You heard them, folks. These boys are ready to tear it up.
Today's race will start off with 4 heats, each being 10 laps. For these heats, we're doing things a little differently than normal racing. Since a lot of our drivers have given up a lot and traveled very far to be here for this race, we want all of them to have an even shot at finishing their entire heat.
In other words, if a car blows a tire, we're going to stop the race, let the cars cool off for a minute, give the driver a chance to fix his car or jump in a backup car and rejoin the race.
With that being said, let's take a look at today's track while our first heat heads to the starting line. Once drivers get the green flag, they will accelerate from the start line down our front straight into turn 1 and then subsequently turn 2. These are both very sandy corners and can be difficult to get a car to turn in, especially as the dirt starts to build up. Coming out of turn 2, we floor it and head straight for the wet creek crossing. There's a bunch of rock underground here, so our cars are able to easily pass through. Headed up the hill, there's a slight right, at which point the drivers are usually completely blinded by mud, and then they will floor it down the back straight, reaching speeds in excess of 50 miles an hour. Right turn into an off-canter hairpin. This one gets tricky as the day goes on and dirt starts to build up. Another quick section here to pick up some speed before our second creek crossing, this one with the bridge. And I'll tell you right now, it looks a lot smoother on camera than it is in real life. Wide open once again, down the front straight, coming through our flags at about 50 miles an hour, headed back into turn 1. So there you have it, folks. That is the track for this year's Grand Prix. Let's head to the starting line and check out the lineup for our first heat. Alrighty, folks, we got them lined up on the starting line. Let's take a look at our order. In first place, starting off, we have Sean in the number 3 car. Behind him, Carl in the red Monte Carlo. In third place, definitely CJ with their Herbie Grand Prix. Behind him, Steve, and in 5th place, just outside of camera, is Angus in Hilbert. The green flag drops and they are off like a shot heading into turn 1. Carl immediately pushing that Monte Carlo to its limit. He really wants this win. Gives a little love tap to Sean there as they head into the creek crossing. This is going to be a vital point of the track all day. Keep an eye on that hill immediately afterwards. Down the back straight, full throttle now, doing 50 miles an hour into our turn 3 and 4. Sean holding out well in first place. Both of those cars are fast, but I feel today is going to be a test of endurance. Let's see how they do. Feet to the floor as they head to the... Oh, and another love tap from Carl here, just letting him know he's back there. Gingerly almost, as they all come over the bridge for their first time. Except for Steve, that is, who sees this as an opportunity and mats it, trying to get around CJ, but can't quite pull it off as he gets in the rough. Rocketing out of turn 2, headed for the creek crossing. Sean still holding the lead, the Monte Carlo close behind. Dirt everywhere off of these wheels. My poor Cornfield will never be the same, but hey, that is part of it. CJ and Steve through the mud. Steve still trying to get that pass on the back straight, completely blinded by the mud. Look at that tack to the rev limit into turn 3 and 4. At the bridge crossing, Sean a little more aggressive this time, followed by Carl in the Monte Carlo. They head up the front straight. CJ absolutely sends it through the bridge crossing. Steve's still trying to get around him as they come into turns 1 and 2, right on the tail of that car. It's heat 1 and we're already seeing some awesome action out of these guys. Through the creek once again, Steve still trying to get him on the inside but gets slipped up in the mud a little bit. Notice how that's getting a little rougher coming out of that creek. Turns 3 and 4, Sean still holding first place, Monte Carlo right on his tail. Steve losing a little ground on CJ. Into the bridge, absolutely sends it through there. That's what we want to see. These guys are no longer scared of that bump and are hitting it at full tilt. Angus bringing up the rear in Hilbert. Carl wide open up the front straight. Look at that, 40, 50 mile an hour into turn 1 and 2, trying to get around that number 3. Gives him a push. Just about spins him. Sean holds onto it and hammers down towards the creek crossing out of turn 2. These guys are giving these cars hell. Into the water they go. Ooh, Sean took a big dip there. Let's see if his car... Nope, sure enough, he's going to have electrical problems. That's our first car to be out of a race due to that water crossing. This is going to be a common feature all day long. Let's see if he can get that thing to dry out and come back into the power before the end of the straight. Steve on the outside tries to get around him, can't quite pull it off, ducks to the inside and takes the inner corner. Ooh, contact there, and it looks like CJ's car is just shut off.
Oh, mate! Dead in the water!
Well, it looks like he got it fired up again. No idea what that was about. Either way, caution is out, so we're going to wait for everyone to get up to the line, regroup, make sure we're all good to go, and turn them loose once more.
Is it overheating?
No, not overheating yet. It's sucking it in the motor. Light hydro lock. We should probably get it out of the track.
Heading into our green flag, our lineup is Carl in first, Steve in second, Angus snuck his way all the way up to third in Hilbert, Sean in the number 3, and CJ in their Herbie Grand Prix. Well, never mind. Looks like on the back straight, Sean's car is having some issues and severely down on power. We'll get him off the track and line these guys up once again for a green flag restart. Green, green, green. Carl off like a shot into turn 1, but Steve is right on his heels. I am talking a couple feet off that rear bumper this time. That 96 is fast. In the pit, Sean is ready to go in the backup car once he sees an opportunity, punches it, and heads out onto the field hunting for positions. This car is a little down on power, so if they can make it work, it's all driver. Down the back straight, Carl absolutely hammering on it. Listen to that thing scream. Into turn 3 and 4, Steve and Angus both closing the gap on that Monte Carlo. Across the bridge, Steve wide open, Angus wide open, both closing that gap on first place. Look at the violence as they come across that. Down the front straight, wide open throttle, into the rev limiter, turn 1 and 2. All 3 drivers absolutely working these cars out of turn 2, heading down to the creek crossing, a bumper hanging off Hilbert there. Into the water, the Monte Carlo, and then the number 96, followed by Hilbert. These cars absolutely hammering it through the water and down the back straight. Look at the speed coming into turn 3. Meanwhile, in the back, Sean is hunting down that number 1 of CJ. Both of them stuck in the mud here, and Sean gets the pass. I think CJ's car is actually having some mechanical difficulties as well. Back at the bridge, Monte Carlo over at full speed. Steve flies through it. Angus puts it in the air, heading up the front straight. Look at the violence in this in-cab footage. That was a hard hit, and it appears something may be wrong. Watch the temp gauge here, absolutely rocketing towards that red. Speaking of red rockets, Carl and the Monte Carlo coming out of turn 2 is followed by Steve and Angus. Little steam off of Steve's car, despite there being no water in this section of the track. That might be an issue. Carl cuts the corner close and goes through the water scotch-free. Steve now losing a little bit of ground. I really think he is cooking that car if I had to guess. Let's look. Yes, look at that temp gauge. Absolutely nuclear, pegged at 270. I'm surprised this car is still making full power. I don't suspect it will be doing that for much longer. Either way, straight into the rev limiter. Look at that tag just stuck in the orange, heading into the bridge crossing. Another hard hit up the straight. Look at the hang time on these cars. These guys are in it for the win. Ooh, Steve's car not sounding good. Angus pushing him into that corner. Let's see. Yeah, he gets the pass coming into turn 1. CJ having some problems with his car not wanting to rev. You hate to see it, and I wish it did happen, but these cars are all beat to piss. On the front straight, Carl takes the white flag. At the bridge, Steve launches through there. Sean close on his heels in the backup car, looking to secure that 3rd place for the team. The checkered flag is in sight, and Carl takes a leisurely stroll through the bridge. Angus has other plans, wide open, once again bouncing that subframe off the ground. Our checkered flag for Heat 1 goes to Carl and the Monte Carlo. 2nd place, Angus and Hilbert. But we're not done racing yet, folks. We got a turtle race here with 3 injured cars on the back straight. Sean and Steve battling for 2nd. Sean seems to be pulling it off. A quick burst of power from the backup car as he comes towards the bridge. Hits it hard and oh, it rips the entire exhaust system off. The entire thing and the bumper. Takes the checkered flag for 3rd with Steve in 4th and CJ in the rear. Look at that, the whole thing.
He lost the entire exhaust and the rear bumper.
Holy cow, what a race that was. Them boys beat the snot out of those cars.
You got that right, Ricky. That was one hell of a race. I must say, I was surprised at the number of cars that dropped out. I expected these 3.8s to be a little more tough when it comes to, you know, bash them around a cornfield a little bit.
Well, Rod, you gotta consider what the track is doing to these poor things. Hell, we saw the number 96 car peg the temp gauge, stumble hard, and then run another lap in wide open throttle.
You just beat the snot out of it. One thing's for sure, this event is definitely going to be a learning experience. I bet these guys are making some changes to their cars before they come back out for Heat 3.
Speaking of changes, it looks like we gotta get our maintenance team out there again. That bridge did not hold up like they hoped it would.
While they do that, let's head down to our pits and see what our drivers thought of our first heat.
First, Carl had fun. You're the only car that didn't have problems.
Do I get points for lapping?
What do you mean the only problem? Hilbert's fine? Oh shit.
We'll have to take the training fluid.
2 out of 5. I really expected better survival rates.
She bad? What's the sit rep here, CJ?
Well, once it stalled once, I got it running. About 60% won't go above 2,500. If you get on the straightaways, you just hold to it. It'll kind of up.
The car got really hot. It was over 260 degrees. Came back in, found out that our serpentine belt had fallen off. When we went to put it back on, we found out that our power steering pulley was gone completely. So we're just gonna run it till it blows up. Hoping that it, you know, get cooled down a little bit in the puddle, and we'll be able to finish the next race.
Burn it to the ground.
How was it?
Pretty good.
I mean, that Monte Carlo is pretty quick.
Thanks, driver.
Well, with that, it looks like our track is ready. Let's head down to the start line for the beginning of Heat 2.
Hell yeah.
For Heat 2, your starting lineup is Ron, followed by Ty, followed by Braden, then Phoenix, Jesse, and Dylan in the rear. Our green flag drops and we're off to the races for the most part. It looks like someone might have been asleep on that start, and we got a hell of a gap here in our starting field. Either way, all 6 cars charge into turn 1 and 2. Coming out of turn 1, Ron absolutely shredding through the dirt, followed closely by Ty. Behind him, the rest of the field begins to pack up, and we're starting to have ourselves a good race already. By the way, down in the comments, we want to know, which car do you think should win the award for best design? Coming into the water doing 700 mile an hour as Ron completely displaces the creek, heads up towards the straight, slides the rear end of his front-wheel drive car, absolutely ripping into the back turn. The rest of our field a little more cautious as they go through the water and get a hang of the track and their cars as they slide up that slippery slope on that hill. Through the bridge crossing, Ty is still pushing Ron, which is impressive. Ron has a very aggressive front tire and a supercharger on that car, and Ty's is stock. The rest of our group is out for a Sunday cruise as they come across the bridge. If I didn't know better, I'd say they were going to get groceries. Ron and Ty full send through turns 1 and 2, dirt flying everywhere, hauling ass as they hit that water crossing. Look at the amount of water and the speed from that Voltron car as it rockets up the back straight and clips our berm. On the other end of the track, a real race is actually starting to break out. These guys are getting a little more brave. Dylan completely buries it into that berm, but you can tell that these guys are getting more comfortable with their cars and the track, for their speeds are much higher through the water crossing. Dylan in the deep end, a lot of steam out of that car. Let's see. Yep, it looks like he might have got her wet.
Oh no, live.
His teammates' cries from the other end of the track seem to have fixed the problem, and he is back on the power, hard into turns 3 and 4, hauling ass, cranks the wheel around, and pops a tire. Lucky break for Dylan, because that will bring our caution out, giving the group a chance to repack and give him a chance to get his car fixed.
Turns out if you organize a race with cars that cost less than $1,000, they're gonna race like cars that cost less than $1,000. We'll see what happens with our entry. Hopefully we get that backup car back out there.
Lucky for them, we had some extra tires in the pit, and our pit crew was able to get a tire on that and get their car back out on the track. Our caution laps are over, and it's time to drop the green flag and put the hammer down. Coming out of turn 2, Ron hauling ass towards the water. Man, that car is fast. You can really get appreciation of the amount of speed they hold from this angle right here. Our leaders head through the water and onto the back straight wide open. Dylan splashes down in the water, gets a little sideways, really seems to be struggling with the mud on that hill right there. Turns 3 and 4, Ron and Ty absolutely flying through there, mud going everywhere. Bryden now picking up the pace. Ty sliding around the outside of Ron, contacts, shoves him into the rough stuff, gets the pass for first place, and they are through the bridge, wide open throttle, with Ty being the leader of this lap as they come across the line. Dylan in the back sends his car through the bridge. I think he is having some power issues. Up front, Ty absolutely barreling through the water, Ron right behind him, and Quick Performance now close on their heels. Ty absolutely sideways through the mud, seems to have maybe gotten his car wet, pulls off the track, back on, back off, takes a shot for the cameraman. Look out, Jesse, get the hell out of there, there's a crazy man on the track. Ron back in first, but Ty nails him, spins him around, pushes him off the track entirely, says, get out of here, old man. I'm in first this race. Bryden takes this opportunity to sneak into second. Ty, it seems something might be wrong with the back of that car. It keeps fishtailing on him when he's trying to drive straight. Either way, he's going to hammer it up the front straight, bringing it home for the white flag. Meanwhile, Dylan is trying to be the first Grand Prix on the moon. Heading into the creek crossing, Ty in first, Quick Performance with a close second. Phoenix now battling for third with Ron as they shoot into the water, and Quick Performance gets the pass on Ty for first place. You never know what's going to happen in that mud pit, especially when you throw Dylan in there at about 40. Look at the steam off that. Phoenix really pushing for third place. It is the last lap here, so he's got one shot at it. Quick Performance holding a steady lead, but knowing that he's slow on the bridge, Ty keeps it on the floor and tries to catch him, but just can't pull it off. Meanwhile, Phoenix and Ron wide open throttle through the bridge, up onto the straight. Quick Performance takes your flag, followed by Ty, and a drag race to the line, and it's Ron by a bumper. Jesse takes fifth, and Dylan once again shooting for the stars takes sixth place. That car's hurting. They're gonna need to do some work on that one.
God damn, that was some good racing.
You got that right. We saw some serious driving from Ron and Ty out there. On top of that, who'd have thought Quick Performance with the pass through the mud on the last lap to secure the win. Really shows you how important it is to pick the right line through that mud.
Yeah, that section has tripped up a few of our drivers today. I'd say that has leveled the playing field.
It is definitely the great equalizer, Ricky.
Well, let's head down to the pit and see what them boys have to say.
Dylan, how was it? Hard. And me, we're also dead. it just gave up. I mean, when I was right behind the number, I guess 10 car or whatever, he just covered the windshield. I sucked up all sorts of water, and after that it was over. Like the car just didn't run anymore.
That water is a problem.
So I just jumped at the last. I said, you know what, forget it. We'll just break the car.
How was it?
Fucking awesome. That was a blast.
You guys took home checker flag? First heat?
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah, that car's quick.
It was wild.
That was a wild time.
As soon as you hit that water, you can't see nothing all the way until the corner.
I didn't think it'd make that hill so bad. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Just think, it's pretty fun.
It's pretty fun. Yeah, okay. Car survive?
Oh yeah. Well, it's the back end's a little white. Something broke on the left rear, but
it's fine.
I'll run it next. So I may not survive the second time.
I thought it was you out there, so it's definitely your son. That's for sure. How'd it go?
Oh, it was fun.
Oh, you guys are supercharged?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, we thought our fuel issue we had fixed yesterday. I'm thinking, yeah, we're
get
not
it
making
fixed.
enough pressure to keep her going full throttle.
Looks like a couple of our teams have some work to do. Let's hope they can get everything straightened out before the next heat.
And speaking of next heat, it's time for Heat 3. Let's head to our man in the field to get things kicked off.
It's time for Heat 3! Your Heat 3 lineup is Wyatt in the number 8 Monte Carlo, Ethan in Hilbert, Kevin in the number 3 car, Sloan in the number 1 car, and Roanoke in the rear with the backup car. The green flag drops and it is balls out as these guys hammer down the front straight. Kevin, knowing he has a fast car, wants around Hilbert so he can take a stab at that Monte Carlo. Ethan, however, says I don't think so and makes that car 3 cars wide and still fast. Into the creek crossing, the Monte Carlo ripping through the mud, followed by Hilbert and the number 3 cars. They charge up the hill. 40, 45, 50, 55 mile an hour as they charge into turns 3 and 4. Kevin decides Ethan is braking a little early and wants to tell him about it, gives him a good love tap, and then pushes him through the corner in an attempt to spin him out and get around. Hilbert says, I've been here for 200,000 miles and no one's spun me out yet. Sure as hell ain't gonna happen today. Into the bridge crossing, absolutely launches the car through the air, up to front straight. Kevin trying to take him on the outside, gets in the rough stuff, still can't get it done. Another love tap going into turn 1. Both drivers pushing hard into turn 2. What a race this has turned to be. Hilbert catches a rut and ooh, something severely broken in the front of that car. Kevin slips around the outside as the caution comes out. Let's take a look at Hilbert, see what's wrong.
Dang.
Well, shit.
We did witness Kevin push the Hilbert car, correct? Off the track. Let's go back to the replay, see what happened.
He's gonna edit all this.
Don't take this out of the edit.
If you insist, sir, let's take a look at exactly what happened out there. From this view, it is hard to see if there's any contact at that last moment. Let's see the in-car footage, and hits the rut, snaps the knuckle. Nope, I think he had about 4 feet of clearance. So at least for this turn, no contact from Kevin. We'll get Hilbert off the track, get Ethan in a backup car, and get ready to go green once again. Meanwhile, on caution on the back straight, Kevin finally utilizes the tap here on the back of Wyatt's car. Well, Ricky, caution is out, but I tell you, this looks like it's gearing up to be one hell of a race.
It sure is, Rod. Let's go to Angus, who is live in pit lane.
Strange things are happening. Our second backup car is getting, I don't know, ready. We got a tire issue over here. Don't know what that's all about. Caleb's giving the tire some air, maybe.
Ish.
Doesn't sound like it, but okay.
It sounds like it, just very slowly.
When I first started this, I had a miss, and one of the spark plug wires was also it, so that was interesting.
Also, the car is perfectly ready to race. They all miss now.
Yeah. There you go.
Up, airbags out.
Go. Did you disconnect the passenger side?
Oh, we haven't been doing that this whole time?
Yeah, we have.
Oh.
You haven't?
No, we didn't do that.
Yeah.
Not that it matters now. The car's dead.
Yeah, disconnect the passenger side too.
Hey, wait. Alright, so there goes one. And a Caleb. And fixed.
Well, it looks like they've got both spare cars prepped and ready to go. Let's get this race on the road.
It's been 15 minutes and most of the drivers shut their cars off, but we're back and we are ready to race with both backup cars on the field. Green flag, and Kevin is hard charging for Wyatt. Now is finally his chance to catch that Monte Carlo. Let's see if he can do it. Coming on turn 2, Monte Carlo hauling ass. Kevin not hauling ass. Let's go to the in-car view, see if we can find out if anything's wrong. Coming through the water here, his car does not sound good. Yep, he's waving people on and he's pulled off the track. Looks like something has gone terribly amiss with that car. If I had to guess, I would say it's overheating pretty bad. Either way, caution is out and it looks like he's gonna take this straight off the track, through the pits, all the way through the yard and up to the hydrant. His car is cooking for some reason. Well, I overheated. Thermostat was stuck closed, I think. I just heard it open. See if I can get this filled up back on the track. Fans are running. Well, it looks like they got it fixed. The number 3 car is returned to the track and seems to be under good power. With that being said, we're going to turn them loose once again with the green flag. Wyatt out front, hammering it through turns 1 and 2 in the Monte Carlo. Look at that thing slide around there. Behind him, Sloan, Kevin, and then Jacob in the backup car. I believe Ethan's car was having some issues, so he pulled off. Wyatt flying through the water crossing, already a mile in front of the rest of the pack, as they too splash down. Ooh, a big splash there by Roanoke, little off the track, but he recovers. On the back straight, Wyatt wide open into the back turn. Look at him rotate that car through that turn, a thing of beauty. Those little donuts on the back seem to really be doing those guys some good. Kevin and Sloan, however, absolutely tilling the field as they come through turns 3 and 4. These guys are absolutely hammering on it as they go side by side down towards the bridge. Neither driver willing to lift, and Sloan launches that car, taking a huge chunk of the bridge out. Top of the straight, Wyatt ripping through turns 1 and 2 with Sloan and Kevin right behind him, battling side by side through that turn. Oh, Kevin gets into Sloan a little bit, pushes him, tries to rotate him through, but can't pull it off. Down in the water crossing, dirt everywhere, water everywhere. These guys are hammering on it. Completely blind by that mud. Kevin's lifting going up that hill. I think if he has any chance of passing, he's going to have to hold it to the floor and hope for the best. Sloan absolutely plowing the field into turns 3 and 4. What an incredible shower of dirt. Here they go to the bridge crossing once again, throttling these cars through there. Kevin takes out a pylon, tries to pass him on the inside up the straight. Can he get it done? You can see Sloan there outside the window, but no, he cannot. Sloan slips away once again. Meanwhile, Roanoke in the back just bashing this poor Grand Prix into the earth. At the top of the straight, the Monte Carlo gracefully taking the turns in 1 and 2, while these two calamitous bastards come in full throttle, dirt everywhere, showering the crowd. Kevin tries to take him on the outside, ducks back in for the inside. The Monte Carlo dipping through the babbling brook as it gracefully heads down the track. Unlike these two, slamming into each other. Huge contact there. Kevin pushing him up the hill, holds it to the floor this time, says, I don't care what happens. Has a moment where he says hi to Sloan. The mirrors explode on each other's cars, and Kevin finally gets the pass and is now hunting down the Monte Carlo. Holy shit, what a lap that was, but I don't think it's over yet as they head towards the bridge crossing. No lift. Holy crap, let's see that from inside. But there's no time to worry about that now because Wyatt and the Monte Carlo has taken the white flag and we are on the last lap. Kevin coming around turn 2, absolutely tilling the dirt. That's going to make for good corn this year. Sloan right behind him doing the same thing. These guys really are farmers. Look at them out there. Wyatt into the creek crossing. Beautifully done. Very little splash. Keeps the car dry. Kevin right behind him. Pushing as hard as he can. Trying to catch that Monte Carlo in the last couple turns. But it looks like he's not going to get the opportunity as his engine cuts out after the last water crossing. The Monte Carlo rounding turns 3 and 4, headed home. Kevin comes to a steamy stop on top of the hill as Wyatt takes the checkered flag. Sloan limps number 1 home for a second place finish, and Roanoke with a burst of power comes across the bridge one last time, launching that poor car through the air and takes 3rd.
Boy, that was a good one. There was so much airtime in that race, I thought I was watching a Dukes of Hazzard episode.
You got that right, Ricky. That was some hard racing. While our maintenance crew attempts to fix the bridge once again, let's head down to pit lane and see what they thought of that heat.
My self-preservation ain't the best. I hit something hard. That's probably okay. Well, it's okay. The checkered flag was just waved. Damn it. That was fun, though. Holy shit.
Throttle body must have got wet again.
Yeah. It's all, I mean, look how packed that is right there.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh.
That's not even, the battery's not even at its home anymore. Come look at this. Come right here.
Yeah, I know.
Your battery's not even at its home.
Yeah.
That's tight.
I took out my mirror, and then right when you did that, my rear view mirror just flew off.
Well, I came around that one corner, and we got into the water, and I went completely blind. I figured you did too, and I was like, I'm not letting off this time. And then we crashed hard.
So hard.
That's where the donuts on the 3
Yeah.
came from.
This is nice.
And there was like this peaceful moment where it was just me and Sloan with the cars stuck together and the windows down. And we were like,
We made eye contact.
yeah, we were like, hey! Whoa!
They were out, Bob.
Hey, there you go.
That's much better. Sounds faster.
Race car. I had a sick car. Hurts whenever it doesn't run on 6 cylinders. Because this right here happened. Burn a spark plug wire. We're good now though.
Yeah, that did a number. Alright, so this car's dead. Suddenly the parts car is the car to use for racing. This is the car to use for parts. Ethan just wants to get a full lap in without breaking one.
Please, yeah, that's all I want.
You seem like you're getting pretty good at taking airbags out of these.
I have to do a couple now.
Well, it looks looks like our maintenance team is done with the track, so let's get things cooking for Heat 4, baby!
Your Heat 4 lineup is as follows. In the 19X, Bill, Quick Performance, Ashton, the Voltron cars, Aaron, Nolan in the 90s Cup car, and then Connor and Ben. With our caution laps done, it's time to drop the green flag and go racing once again. Our cars are hard charging down the front straight into turns 1 and 2. Immediately too wide into turn 1, tons of contact between Bill and Aaron, and it looks like Aaron may have bent a tie rod and Bill popped a tire, sending him off the side of the track. It hasn't even been half a lap and caution is already out. On the way back, it seems Bill's also having some transmission issues. Let's get that car in the pits and see what exactly is going on under that hood. Holy cow, they're dropping like flies. We're still on caution, and it looks like Aaron's busted a transmission line in his car. We'll get the tractor in here and push that off the track as well. Meanwhile, in pit lane, we just got word from Bill that somehow that impact completely split his transmission into 2 pieces. He's decided to let his son race in his place in the backup car for the remainder of the race. And speaking of backup cars, since Hilbert and the backup car failed on Ethan last time, we put him in this heat so he could have some fun racing today. Once again, the green flag drops and we find Nolan out front, followed by Ben, Ashton, Connor, Ethan, and Ty. Heading into the water crossing, Nolan is wide open, splashes through gracefully, and hammers it down the back straight. Flying into turn 3 and 4, Nolan very excited to finally put the skinny pedal down in one of these cars. Coming to the bridge, we see a nice packed up group here. We got Nolan followed by Ben, and then a battle for third between Connor and Ashton of Quick Performance. Nolan gracefully sliding out of turn 2 on towards the crossing as Ben blows a tire coming out of turn 2. Nolan slams into the mud crossing at Mock Chicken while Connor pulls a big move from behind and gets a double overtake through the mud puddle. Ethan also utilizes that mud to gain a lot of ground, and for a second we go 3 wide on the back straight. Connor wins the drag race down the back straight, followed closely by Quick Performance. Connor blows a front tire, goes way wide, and is overtaken by Quick Performance. But before caution comes out, Ben and Ethan have a hell of a battle for 4th. The battle continues through the bridge crossing and up onto the straight. Ethan gives him a good little love tap there. Oh, apparently it's caution. Oops. Connor, with a sense of urgency, rejoins the race with a new tire. The green flag drops once again, and Nolan is quickly chased down by Quick Performance as they head into turn 1. All 5 cars wide open as they head for the creek crossing. Ty goes a little wide and huge splashdown through the deep end. Looks like he gets a little bound up there in the mud. Let's take a moment to listen to these cars as Nolan rips around the track in first place. Those 3.8s might not sound beautiful, but man, they sound fun when they're out in a cornfield. Connor absolutely stuffs his car in the mud and stalls it out completely on the hill, which brings out our 4th caution for the race.
Phoenix.
Meanwhile, on the caution laps, it looks like Ty's car might have run out of gas. We'll push that one to the infield as well and get that green flag flying. Hard out of turn 2, we suddenly have a 3-car race for the lead. Nolan, followed by Ashton, followed by Ethan, all 3 charging hard through the mud and up the hill. A drag race down the back straight between Nolan and Ashton as they come into turn 3. With nowhere to go, Ashton gets into the side of Nolan and they stick together as they head down the back, still stuck together heading towards the bridge, and Nolan seems to be able to break away and make a full throttle run at that bridge to try to create some distance between him and that quick performance car. Both cars flying out of turn 2, balls to the walls, everything they've got, couple laps left on the table. Let's see if Nolan can hold on to his first place lead, and let's see if Quick Performance can catch him. Into turn 3, Nolan seems to have put a little space on Quick Performance. His lead is safe for now, but we've all seen how fast that can change out here on this racetrack. Both of our front-running cars are running strong as they come out of turn 2 and head towards the creek crossing once again. Trouble on the back straight. It looks like Nolan may have stalled out. Let's see if he can get it fired back up and under power. He does, but it may not be quick enough. Quick Performance is right on his tail as they head into turns 3 and 4. Behind them, a battle for third. Ben and Ethan make contact. Ben pushes Ethan off the track and gets a little more safety in that third position, gaining a little bit of distance between the two cars. At the top of the track, Nolan's still effectively outrunning Ashton as they make their way to the creek crossing once again. Nolan goes wide and stuffs it into the deep part. That is not going to be good. That car's been having some issues with water the last couple of laps, and sure enough, it seems to have stalled him up. However, he's able to get it running again, and it is a drag race to the third turn. And this time, it looks to be Quick Performance that is going to win that drag race. Heading out of turn 4, they make their way to the bridge for the white flag. At the top of the track, no change as Quick Performance holds their position. Nolan still pressing hard to take back first place. Car being too tired to pull it off, Quick Performance takes our checker flag, Nolan takes second, Ben pulls a third place win, and Ethan in the parts car takes fourth. Ricky, I gotta tell you, I was really rooting for Nolan on that one. Before the race, he told us he's never done anything quite like this, and let's be honest, who has? But he was absolutely dominating out there on that racetrack today.
Yeah, Rod, that boy can wheel a car. It's a darn shame that water got to him in the last few laps. I thought he had that race in the bag.
I'd have to agree with you, Rick, and let's not downplay the other drivers as well. That Quick Performance car has been fast all day. Likewise, I really hope Ron and Eric can fix their transmission line issue and we can see them again for the feature here in a little bit. That car is also fast as hell.
Well, Rod, I got good news for you. Our track officials called for a 1-hour break before the feature. This is to allow the drivers to fix their cars and get some grub. And it looks like we have ourselves a full field.
Ooh, you'll love to see it, Ricky. Now, unlike the heat races, our feature is going to be a little different. Everyone's already had their chance to run a full heat, and it is now time for some real racing. At this point, if you blow a tire, you're either going to run it or try to change it while the race continues. If your car breaks down, we're just going to shove them to the nearest corner and keep this sucker green as much as we can.
That's right, this race is all about endurance, just pure, unbridled speed, baby. Let's get her going.
For your feature, we've placed all the fast cars in the back. Up front, Ethan with the parts car, Jesse in the Fiesta Jalapeno Bean, Steve in the 96, CJ in the blue backup car, Sean in the number 3, Aaron in the Voltron car, Dylan in the 90s car, Bryden in the Quick Performance, Phoenix in the number 10mm, and Carl in the Monte Carlo. And with that, we are going green for the feature. And with that, caution is out for the feature as the number 3 has called it quits right at the starting line. Everyone slows down for caution except for Aaron, who doesn't have a radio in his car and is wondering suddenly, why the hell is my car so fast, as he charges down the back straight and makes a couple passes before seeing the yellow flag. Once the track is cleared, Landon gives us the green flag and they put it on the floor once again. Continuing his conquest for first place, Aaron overtakes Jesse in turn 2 and has his sights set on Ethan as they race into the mud. On On the back straight, Aaron decides the track is simply slowing him down and heads for the cornfield. If I had to guess, this was because he was blind by the sun and the mud on his windshield. Either way, he cuts the corner close and tries to overtake Ethan for first place, and they make contact coming out of turn 4. However, all the contact that car's made today has taken a toll on it, and Aaron snaps a tie rod, showering Ethan in dirt and sending his own car off of the track for good. Meanwhile, on the back straight, Dylan bumps his radio button on the steering wheel, and we get this hilarious moment as he charges through cars. Headed to the bridge, Phoenix and Dylan both overtake Steve as they battle for third place. Behind them, the Monte Carlo is looking to make its move. Quick performance in the backup car out front. He dives to the inside through the mud, and it's a race up the hill to the straightaway. He tries to the outside, switches to the inside, and pulls it off in a drag race to the third corner. In the fourth turn, the battle for third continues as Dylan makes hard contact with Phoenix, sending him sliding. Phoenix says, "Not so fast, buddy. I didn't buy this supercharged car for nothing," as Dylan runs over a headlight and they charge down the front straight into turn 1. Phoenix, not lifting at all, gets up under Dylan's car and lifts it up on top of his own hood. Dylan on 2 wheels as they come into turn 1. Look at the angle from the inside there. And Phoenix still isn't done with him. He pushes him all the way through turn 1 into turn 2 and onto the straight headed towards the river crossing. Dylan wins the drag race to the water, and Phoenix goes for a splashdown for what appears to be the last time as his car stalls out climbing the hill. Caution comes out as the Monte Carlo casually takes third place from Phoenix.
Flat tire.
Can I blow another tire? Going until I can.
Just go until
Look
you
at the
can.
temperature gauge.
Yeah, she's hot.
Once Phoenix's car is safely off the track, our feature goes green once again. Charging hard into the first turn, only 6 cars of the 11 initial remain at this point, and one of those 6 is the Monte Carlo, who is tired of waiting around and is ready to just win this race. Of all the cars left at this point, it seems the Monte Carlo might be the only one not showing signs of struggling mechanically as it chases down Ethan for the lead. In turn 2, Quick Performance makes a move to try to take third place from Jesse and beats him to the mud pit, but gets a little deep, and now it's another drag race down the back straight between 2 limping cars. Make that 1 limping car. On the bridge, the Monte Carlo really nipping at the heels of Ethan's parts car now. He's pushing him down the front straight and into turn 1 and 2. Let's see if he can get the pass. He goes for the inside, a little over the berm, some contact there from Ethan, and the Monte Carlo is in the lead, heading into the water. With no one in his way, Carl absolutely rockets away in the Monte Carlo with Ethan behind him and Quick Performance in third. Even though we've only done about 10 laps at this point, we decide to give Carl the white flag since he's pretty much the only car left on the field. And with that, on the next lap around, we can proudly say that we have a winning team for the 2022 Grand Prix. Wyatt and Carl in their Monte Carlo.
What a beautiful machine.
In turns 3 and 4, a battle for second place remains. It's a race between Quick Performance and Jesse to see who can limp their car across the line first to claim second place. Coming through the bridge, Jesse seems to have a burst of speed, but then trades it off to Quick Performance apparently as they shoot away and he slows down. Quick Performance takes second, Jesse third, and Dylan somehow manages to limp his car with 2 tires left for a 4th place finish. Meanwhile, back at the bridge, Sean has the number 3 running once again. He's gonna try to make it to the finish line, but the car has other plans and he stalls out about 50 feet short. Well, there you have it, folks. Your first ever Grand Prix was won by none other than a Monte Carlo.
Man, that car was the only car to not miss a beat all day. Not one flat tire, not one stall after the water, just pushing laps, wide open throttle all day. And them boys weren't kidding around out there either.
That's right, Ricky. We saw some great racing from that team. They were cutthroat when it came to driving, but never had any dirty moves, never cut any corners, or even had contact with other cars. As far as driving goes, I'd say they won that fair and square.
Well, let's head down to Victory Lane and get them boys their prize.
They sure have earned it. Ladies and gentlemen, your victor throughout the day, Carl and Wyatt in the Monte.
Wyatt somewhere.
Absolutely dominated. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
She's steaming. I can hear her go.
Yeah, Raiders pop in the bottom. Give it to
This is your prize for winning
I don't want it.
all of the change from the cars. Thank you again, folks, for joining us for the Grand Prix presented by Junkyard Digs. At this point, we'll be turning everything over to our men in the field. Until next time, I'm Rod Knox.
And I'm Richard Roberts.
We'll see you next year.
You know, Rod, I heard if this gets 1 million views, they're gonna try to make this a public event next year. Can you believe that?
You never know, Ricky. One thing's for sure. I think it took somewhere around 50 hours for them to edit this. So if nothing else, it gets 1 million views. There's always a chance that they might just film it again next year instead of just enjoying it for themselves. What can we say? Ow!
Heck off. Ow.
Look, I can't get this thing off.
That sucks.
With that, we've completed the first annual Grand Prix. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you to everyone who traveled all this way and did everything to help us with food, whatever we needed throughout the weekend to make this happen. You guys are awesome and it could not have been done without you. So, from all of us here at Junkyard Digs and all of our friends, we'll see you next time.
Peace.
All right, get the f*** out.
Get off my property.